You know, some secrets are personal, but others can literally redraw the map of the world. Today, we're diving into a secret that was so huge, it was held by just one man. A man whose body was completely falling apart, even as his sheer willpower was building a new nation for millions of people. This is one incredible story. He had only 2, maybe 3 years to live. Just let that sink in. This was the secret. A doctor delivering a terminal diagnosis right when the fate of an entire subcontinent was hanging by a thread. This wasn't just some medical opinion, you guys. This was a ticking clock, and history itself was holding its breath. So, how does a secret this massive even come out? Well, the story starts with a train journey, a sudden health crisis, and a single, shadowy X-ray. A piece of film that basically held the future in its ghostly image. Okay, so picture this. It's June 1946. Muhammad Ali Jinnah, the leader of India's Muslims, just collapses on a train. His health is in a total freefall. His sister, Fatima, is so terrified he's not going to make it that she actually has his doctor, Patel, intercept the train mid-journey. And now, back in his Bombay clinic, Dr. Patel is just staring at this X-ray, and you can just imagine the silence in that room, absolutely deafening with what it was about to reveal. And the diagnosis? It was brutal. Absolutely final. This wasn't some warning shot. It was a death sentence. The X-ray showed that his lungs were, well, they were being eaten away from the inside. We're talking cavities the size of tennis balls. At this point, there was no cure, no hope of recovery. The man who was demanding an entire country for his people was literally running out of time.
But here's the thing, this collapse didn't come out of nowhere. Oh no, it was the climax of a long, hidden war Jinnah had been fighting and concealing for years.
For almost a decade, Jinnah was fighting a war on 2 fronts. One was out in the open, the political battle against the British and the Congress Party. But the other? That was a secret war inside his own body. Every public speech, every tough negotiation, it was all taking a massive physical toll, often leaving him coughing for hours and hours in private. This contrast is just wow. Publicly, he was the Quaid-e-Azam, the great leader, this unbending, powerful, determined force of nature. But privately, he was a frail man whose body was betraying him. And he guarded that secret like his life depended on it, because he knew any sign of weakness would be pounced on by his opponent. This quote tells you everything you need to know about the man. His sister would beg him, please just rest, and this was his reply. In his mind, the fight for Pakistan was his final all-or-nothing battle, and he was the general. There was no retreat, no surrender, not even to his own body. And that meant nobody, and I mean nobody, could know the truth. So, Jinnah built this fortress of secrecy around himself. He made Dr. Patel lock that X-ray away and swear an oath. He moved into a huge mansion, partly so no one could hear those awful coughing fits. And get this, before every major public event, he'd get these injections of, well, vigor, just to give him a temporary burst of energy to get through it. The deception was absolute. And this personal race against death, it got tangled up completely with the political race to create Pakistan. His secret wasn't just about his health anymore. It was a full-blown political strategy. And he did it. He actually pulled it off. Against all the odds, he won. August 14th, 1947, Pakistan becomes a country. It was his life's work, realized. But as the new nation was celebrating its birth, its founder was quietly, secretly dying. Then, in his final year, a really strange decision was made. They moved him to Ziyarat, this high-altitude mountain resort. Now, think about it. For a man with advanced TB, whose lungs are barely working, thin, oxygen-poor air is the last thing you need. It was like poison. The doctors were stunned. And sure enough, the move just made his decline that much faster. So even as his body was giving out, that legendary willpower of his kept him going. But then, something happened. One single mysterious meeting seems to have finally shattered his spirit. So, Pakistan's first Prime Minister, Liaquat Ali Khan, shows up unannounced at Ziyarat. He and Jinnah meet, just the 2 of them. And to this day, nobody really knows what they talked about. But what happened after that meeting? Well, it's just chilling. His sister Fatima, who was by his side constantly, said she saw this dramatic, awful change in him right after. The fighter was just gone. The man who had taken on an empire and defied a fatal disease suddenly looked completely and utterly defeated. His will to live just vanished. He actually said to her, "Fati, I am no longer interested in living. The sooner I go, the better." Can you imagine? For the very first time, Muhammad Ali Jinnah had finally stopped fighting. The end came just a few weeks after that. And his final journey, from the mountains back to Karachi, the capital, it's a story of shocking, almost unbelievable neglect. So his plane lands in Karachi and he's put into a military ambulance, but then it runs out of gas. It just breaks down right in the middle of the road. The founder of the nation is now stranded on a roadside for over an hour in the miserable, sweltering heat. The indignity of it all is just staggering. Not a single senior official was there to meet his plane. There was no backup vehicle. As he lay there dying, his sister and a nurse were literally using pieces of cardboard to try and fan away the flies and the suffocating heat. It was just a terribly tragic and lonely way to go. So Jinnah won his race against time. He died, sure, but not before Pakistan was born. And the secret he kept for so long? Well, it changes everything about how we understand this massive moment in history. This quote right here reveals the unbelievable stakes. These are the words of Lord Mountbatten, the guy who was in charge of the Partition of India. He basically admitted that if he'd known Jinnah was dying, he would have just stalled, delayed negotiations, and waited for him to pass away. Think about that. No Jinnah, no Pakistan. It's that simple. So, in the end, the new borders of a subcontinent, the birth of an entire country, the displacement of millions of people, it all came down to one doctor keeping his word and one man's incredible, iron-willed resolve to hide the truth until his work was done. It just leaves you wondering, doesn't it? We see the big, grand movements of history, the flags, the armies, the famous speeches, but how much of it is really being shaped by these silent, hidden struggles happening just out of sight? What other secrets are hiding in plain sight, just waiting to change the world?